story, really. I'd already heard it once, but when you hear it again, and I think the way she actually said it, I don't know how she kept her emotions within her. It's probably the learning and the courage that she's practicing herself that's helping her. But I'm sure some of us are just thinking, wow. Yeah, so Mala, thank you very much for sharing such a personal story. And the biggest learning is, you know, we get worried about traffic jams. You know, traffic jams, and we might be late for 2 minutes, and just the reaction we get. And here we just seen what she's been through, you know, in between thinking about Pajoshon and Antwerp and Vipinne Doradorinatha. I don't think he minds actually, but Vipinne Doradorinatha, and all those kind of balanced view in life, you know, and with the help of the learning is awesome. So thank you for sharing that again. Okay, now we've got Kirti. Kirti is a late joiner, huh? In about 6-7 months, but he's like a quick riser. Off he goes. And he's definitely been also doing some Bhagavad Gita sessions. And if you not heard about them, don't hear about it, just experience them. They are fun. They are really fun. But today let's just hear his experience. Go on, Kirti. Kirti Jasani.
Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha. Om Shri Param Kripala Devaya Namaha. Om Shri Sadguru Devaya Namaha. Don't worry, aaj koi matli phurwana nathi. There'll be a few jokes along the way that people who come for Mondays will know. Experience sharing has always been a challenging task for me, as you try to put words to inner emotions and transformations, which is sometimes as futile as maybe trying to explain to someone how does it feel if you're sat on a roller coaster just about to take a dive. It's hard, there's no words, you have to experience it. Or how to explain what sweetness means. It's very difficult, you have to try it. It is just something that you will have to experience, and once you do, you'll know exactly what I mean. As a child, I used to fast forward the Mahabharata when it came to the Bhagavad Gita, so I thought it's a waste of time. I was more interested on watching the war, the different arrows, the different kshatras, different people getting killed. I derived more pleasure from that, and how Sri Krishna stirred the Pandavas to victory. But now, I watch the Mahabharata only for the Gita, as it is the epitome of the whole story and also of mine. I used to watch the Gita on the webcast, attend Sunday satsangs and bhakti, and as such grew rather complacent with myself, thinking that was enough religion for a week. How much more can you do? I thought that going for Monday Bhagavad Gita discussion groups would be an overkill, and furthermore the sessions are meant for newcomers or those who don't watch the webcast or come to satsang regularly. And I used to do both, so I said, no chance. What an ego, look at. That's until I met the principal, who sat near the door there. I met the principal who candidly said, just come for one class, and the rest is history. Getting to the class for 8:15 p.m. on a Monday was a mission. I had to catch a bus that came only once every hour, right at 7:27 p.m. opposite the Tesco's on Oxford Road. If I missed that, then it was game over, as it would mean me making a grand entrance into a class an hour late. Especially after principal is there, you can't do this. Furthermore, Mondays are always the busiest day for junior doctors, as we have to sort out the mess that they create during the weekend. So Monday is never a good day. With that tiredness and the tropical temperature of Dinesh Uncle's house, it was an ideal... I'm from the tropics, I'm fine. It was an ideal place to doze off. And was I tempted? But seeing the enthusiasm of the Nainas, hearing the Divya Dhwani of Dipti Auntie, and watching Sheil mess around was enough to keep me awake. I may not have heard or understood every word that Dipti Auntie was saying, but I felt the connection and the transfer of vibration each time. And that was what made me want to go back again and again. Every Monday I felt the compulsion to go, no matter how tired my physical self was. Her ways of explaining, along with rendering stories intertwined with melodious Gujarati, was just mesmerizing. And slowly but surely, the effects did creep in way of transformation. I was subconsciously picking up facts from the class. Lessons about life, living life with awareness, the state of a perfect man, and the qualities of a devotee started making an impact on my life. The discussions helped me firm up my beliefs as it churned deep thinking and gave me an opportunity to put it into practice. And as I said previously, nowadays if I get extra patients to see, I take it very positively. Yet one thing it did teach me was positive thinking, which I was certainly lacking. It wasn't just a conversation between Bhagwan Krishna and Arjun, but between me and myself, between me and my Guru, and between the Atma and the Atmarthi. What I thought was duty was actually more. What I thought was bodily tiredness was actually pramat. If I was so tired of just that Mondays, what about the tiredness of all my lives? Which was heavier? The tiredness of all my lives was far greater than that tiredness of a long day. It has taught me that if I do not have a parivartan in my inner attitude and power, then even taking Diksha will not lend me moksha. I can attain that spiritual elevation in whatever I do, be it seeing patients, or speaking to people, or building bridges or relationship. If I put my focus on the process and not on the end result. That was the Karma Sannyas Yoga for me. I benefited the most in the last 6 weeks, where I was given the honor of leading the Monday sessions, only through His grace, which then became Monday, Wednesday and Friday sessions. Those 6 weeks were the most memorable ones for me, as I was eating with Bhagavad Gita, walking along with it, and even sleeping while listening to Bhagavad Gita, because we had the longest chapter to cover in the shortest time. As Bhagwan Krishna got more intense with Arjun, I got more intense with him. And Gurudev, you were right. How could I ever have doubted my Guru's love for me? His grace had always been there. The realization now dawned. He had taken care of me every moment and in every way. The problem was just mine. My satellite was pointing in the wrong direction, and my decoder was wrongly tuned. How was I going to pick up his signals of grace? And I now know, and I know how I would have fared without his grace. For someone who has to work very hard to achieve anything, there is nothing more gratifying than his love. For someone who used to sleep in satsangs, to be standing here sharing his experience of religion, that's grace. Someone who had so much of Karta Bhav, was so focused on showmanship and was definitely results orientated, to now feel that life is a drama and that everything is not what it seems, that's grace. From Bhagavad Gita I have obtained my direction in life. I have affirmed my faith in the purpose of this human birth to the grace of my Sri Guru. Sarva dharma parityaja mamekam sharanam vraja aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayasmi ma sucha. Abandoning all duties, take refuge in me alone. I will liberate thee from all sins. Grieve not. There is no dharma greater than Atma Dharma, and that one shlok was more than enough for me. It answered all my questions that I've ever had, or I will ever have. My goal was now clear. And then I said, Nashto moha smutir labdha tva prasadam maya sutta shitosmi ghata sandeha karishe vachanam tava karishe vachanam tava. And from that I will start my spiritual journey. During this Mahayagna of Bhagavad Gita, I've become close to many families and individuals, and I'm eternally grateful for all that they have done for me. From the Monday meals that I used to have in Monkey Uncle's place, to the countless meals I've had in other people's house and homes, I felt like their family. I fed more on your power than your food, which was equally good. I'm eternally grateful, and hopefully one day we'll do something in return. In Malaysia, when I graduated, that's where I'm from, they said, have a degree to mali gai che? Degree? Degree liao. But have a case. Degree mai khabar nati, to Bhagwan ne khabar cha. But mane England thi dharma and darshan, atle samak darshan hu to jarur legne jais. Thank you.